So you said that about the positioning earlier on. We talked about the difference between, say, the gap in the market kind of filling the demand for something, and then also there's that creation of demand and the education piece. What are some things that you found in terms of that process, like things that you found difficult for listeners to, from an educational perspective, but also the things that you've done that have helped you to get the message out there?
Yeah, that's been probably the most fun part of the journey, and also the most painful, because, first of all, infrared, for those, that might not be familiar with it, it's a wavelength of light. And typically we think of light in colors, right? The colors that we see, and sunlight. But there's all these wavelengths of light that are beyond what's visible. And so infrared, it's not something that we see with the eye. You could have an infrared camera. If you talk about like night vision goggles, people then kind of go, "Oh yeah, I know what you mean," and that's what we're dealing with. So we're talking about a benefit that's unseen to the naked eye. So there's a challenge there. There's also can be skepticism, because when you put on a shirt or put on a pair of socks or sleep on a Celliant bed, it's not like drinking a Red Bull where you get like a bolt of energy, or it's a much more subtle effect, and there's a benefit that's sort of over time as well. And so that can be a challenge. And then sometimes things seem so obvious, but yet they haven't really come to fruition. So a lot of times we get people kind of thinking, it can't be this simple. Like, if it was this simple, why hasn't people been doing this for a long time? And you can get into how complicated it is to put these minerals inside the clothing, and what all the obstacles are, and really start to understand why it's taken as long as it has.